Hello, we are going to talk about our soccer formation that we'll be running this year, which is a 4-3-3. So a 4-3-3 has four players in the back, which creates a nice wall in the back, three players in the middle, and a lot of times we're going to be playing against teams that are going to be playing a 4-4-2, which will give us a numerical advantage in the middle, and three players up top, which will allow us to put high pressure up on the other team's defenders, which is going to make it very difficult for them to possess in the back and allow us to win the ball into our offensive end and to counter attack. But as you look at this shape, it has obvious concerns because it allows you to be very exposed offensively and defensively on the sides. But as you can see over here, we are going to be transitioning to a different shape as we attack, and really will be in a different shape as we defend, which will make us have a very strong defense and a very dynamic attack. So let's dive in. So how does a 4-3-3 become a 2-5-3? Now think about that right there. 8 attackers. That's a lot. That's a lot for a defense to deal with. So how does it become? Well, our side backs push up and they transition into wing mids. And we get this nice shape back here in our back line. So let's go ahead and dive into our positions and see what their responsibility is. So let's start with our 5 and our 6, our center backs. Center backs must be really good at dealing with the field behind them. So if we're going to keep 2 guys back, if the ball is played over the top, they have to be fast, they have to be athletic, they have to be strong, they have to be good one-on-one defenders. So that's what we're looking back in our center backs. Now let's look at our side backs, our 3 and our 2. Speed is one of the most important qualities, and also endurance, as well as being able to sum up the tactical situation on the field quickly and efficiently, because they're going to be looking at a lot of different circumstances. Do I play the ball back? Do I overlap? Do I run? How do I transition? And we're going to dive into a lot of these things. So tactical IQ, endurance, speed, and also a strong defender. So really a lot of qualities that we're looking in for our side backs. The next player, and this is a very important player, is our 4. That is our center midfielder. They are going to have a very important defensive role, and that is that when the ball is here, or the ball is here, a lot of times you are going to have a striker in that 4-4-2 right here. And they are going to be fronting and really kind of playing like a safety does in football. So when the ball is played in, you are fronting and you are preventing these balls into the front. Our center backs have the back. Actually, they, I guess, would be more like the safety. But they are preventing those balls from coming in. Now, from an offensive standpoint, they are our engine. They ignite the offense. And as we look at and dive further into it, they are ones that really have an angle to distribute the ball at any part of the field. They are the ones who are going to help us transition from our possession in the back into our attack. So soccer IQ, being able to distribute the soccer ball, vision, a lot on that center midfield. So now let's transition and look at our 10 and our 8. Okay, these are our inside midfielders. They have to cover a fairly large area of the field. So being in shape, speed, strength, those are all important. They need to be dynamic. We're going to have the ability to possess the soccer ball, be able to attack and one-on-one, to be able to strike and finish. So a lot of offense, a lot of possession, a lot of soccer IQ, communication skills. That is what we're looking for in our inside midfielders. The next thing we're going to look at is our 11 and 7. These are our wing strikers or side strikers. If you want to be used effective in this position, the ability to attack on the wing is important. So those dribbling skills, speed, size, being able to cross the ball, breakaway speed, these are the things we're looking for in our side strikers. All right? Now we have our 9, our center striker. He is the only point of reference in the middle. He's going to be creating depth. So they're going to be staying back. If this is where their sweeper is, they're creating depth. I want a player on our 9, kind of like Klaus. Big, strong, able to receive the ball and then dump it back. Or to be able to turn and finish. Okay? So really what you are is you are a person who is a target player. You're going to be receiving the ball, distributing it back, making runs. And we're looking for a dynamic player. So it's not really so much speed, but more being able to receive under pressure, distribute, and then those smart runs off the ball is what we're looking for. So, situational buildup. This is what I observed from last year in our strengths and what needs to be improved. Okay, so this is one of the videos that we had from our club season last year. As you can see, we did a good job of possessing in the back. Now, the reason why we do a good job of possessing the back, in my opinion, is that there's less pressure. Again, we usually had 4 in the back with a sweeper, stopper, and 2 backs. And they're usually only pushing 2 up. So we have a 2-man advantage. And a lot of times those strikers aren't your best defenders. So less pressure, and we had pretty good space, but we did a good job of possessing in the back. Go to the next one. Here is another video of how we did a good job of possessing in the back. And this is a strength that I think we'll still have this year. So we are the white team. We drop it back. Again, a lot of space, a lot of time. We play back to our keeper. A lot of space, a lot of time. A lot of space, a lot of time. We're able to stretch out the defense. We possessed really well out of the back. And that was something that we consistently saw last year, both at the high school level and at the club level. Here's another example. Good possession in the back. Again, lots of pressure. We drop it back. No pressure. Not much pressure. Drop it back. We're able to make informed decisions. Spread the defense out. Push the ball back up and attack. So again, I really feel like we will do a good job this year with possession in the back. So those side backs and those center backs, we're going to be able to move the ball around because there won't be a lot of pressure. We have tactical skills to do it. But where we struggled is when we transitioned into our midfield. So this is where I found us really struggling last year with consistency, especially when we played better teams who put good pressure on us. So what you're going to see right here is very direct play. So you're going to see, notice, when we won the ball, everyone starts running towards the goal. And when you get stuck, we just kick forward. We win. Look at those runs. We're all running away. We're running away and we're running towards our goal. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Run away. Get a little possession out of the back because there's not much pressure. Now this turns out well, but this was after 4 attempts. 25% of the time. And that is, we're giving the ball over a lot to produce an offensive attack. And as you can see just from this still frame, we have -2 numbers. We're down 2 players. And we wear ourselves out by going back and forth, back and forth. It just wasn't a smart way to attack. So where we really struggled was in our ability to move the ball up as a team and to have some patterns of play which allow us to successfully keep the soccer ball. So, what we're going to dive into is situational buildup. So, we have sections, A, B, C, D, and E. Okay? So, if we have the ball, let's say that we have the ball, oops, go back one slide. Let's say we have the ball at our 2. Okay? When we are moving the ball up just one section, it is so important for that to be a diagonal pass, an angled pass. And the reason why an angled pass is, imagine if this player was standing right here and he received the ball right there. His back would be towards our goal. So he can't see anything that's behind him. More than likely, if you try to make a quick turn, just kind of a defensive there, we're going to lose the ball. And a lot of our attacks, as we moved up sections, were very straight balls. We need diagonal passes. And the reason we want a diagonal pass is a diagonal pass will enable whoever receives it to play the ball forward. Because number 8 right here is going to be facing this way. So their back is right here, meaning that they are facing going forward and it's easier to move the ball up. Okay? If we play multiple sections up, so if I'm number 2 and I'm going to make a long ball to R9, I've gone up 1, 2, 3 sectors. The immediate response should be a dump pass, so a back pass. And the reason why is when number 2 plays number 9, that defender has a lot of time to get set up. A lot of time to get set up. So number 9 is probably going to have someone right there on their back. So by playing the way you face, it's a safe pass. It's a way that we keep possession of the soccer ball. Because when we keep possession of the soccer ball, good things are going to happen. The other team can't score. All right? So as we move the ball forward, if we're moving up one section, it's just a diagonal pass. That means that it allows that person to have their to face going forward and to move the ball forward. But if we're like number 3 right here with the soccer ball and we play to our number 11, we need to play the way we face and dump the ball back. All right? So now let's go ahead and move forward. Where do we have the advantage against a 4-4-2, which is going to be the most common formation we play against? And that is going to be right here in the middle. Right here in the middle. Now, if you play chess, you know that the middle of the chessboard is where you want to win. Soccer's no different. The middle of the field is where we want to win. And we are putting more numbers in the middle, which will give us the advantage. And we should be able to defend well. We should have a man advantage. Like if you're playing a possession game and you're up a person, it's better than being down a person or being equal. It's going to favor you to be successful. So let's go ahead and talk about combos. Okay, so when we look at this situation, our number 6 has the soccer ball. So our center back has the soccer ball. How many options does our center back have to play the ball? Well, from this diagram, you can play our center mid. You could play our center striker, our number 9. You could play our side or wing striker, or you could be playing our side back. And really, if we look at it, there's probably more passes out here. So are there any other passes not highlighted on this chart that could be made? I want us to think about it. Okay, I'm going to pause. I want you to think about it, and then we'll talk. For me, I see 3. I see number 8. I see number 5. Now, number 5 would need to drop back so that this could be an angled pass, and then I can move forward. We don't want a flat back pass. That right there is incredibly dangerous. Incredibly dangerous. Because a flat back pass, a striker takes the ball, boom, they're off to goal. But we want an angled pass so number 5 can play forward, just like we've talked about. One other pass exists, and that is to our number 1 or our keeper. All right? So each pass, how many sectors would be advancing? I'm going to let you think about it, and we're just going to focus on the 4, 2, 7, and 9. So take a second and think. How many sectors and what kind of pass would it be? So what I see is I see 2 angled passes, and that would be to our 4 and our 2, allowing them to receive the ball and play forward. And I see 2 passes that go past multiple sectors. So our number 9 and our number 7, they would be receiving the ball with their back to the goal, so they would be looking for a dump pass. More than likely, if 7 receives it, he could play back to 2, or he could play to 8. If 9 receives it, they could play to 8. They could play to 7. They could play to 10. So plenty of options there. All right. Let's look at an example of combo play. So this is a game against from the United States men's national team versus Guatemala. Parker and I went and saw this game at the high school level. Coach Trask was there. Actually, as I was looking at this highlight, I saw Coach Trask on the sideline a couple of times. So Guatemala is in the white, and U.S. is going to be possessing on the back. I just want to highlight that I see, from a formation standpoint, I see this is their center mid, and that is their number 4. This is a center back. This is a center back. This is a side back. This is a side back. This is the inside midfielder. This is the inside midfielder. And then we have our 3 strikers up here. Okay, so this is not a center back. This is that center mid coming back into position. So let's go ahead and watch some combo play. Now, we're going to watch that again, but what I want you to look for is positive numbers, because they're pushing a lot of numbers up, playing the way you face, dump passes or back passes, and how they were able to move the ball. It wasn't a lot of direct play. Let's just take a look one more time. There's a dump pass. A lot of angle balls. Okay? And we didn't even address how many angle balls were in there. So, let's now look at a different circumstance. What happens when our side back has the soccer ball? So our number 2, or it could be our number 3, how many options does our side back have to play the ball? Well, in this diagram, you could play back to our center back, which again is an angled ball, not a flat ball, an angled pass. So number 6 can move the ball forward. Number 4, another angled pass so that they can move the ball forward. Our number 9, this ball would be moving past multiple sectors, so number 9 would be looking for a dump pass. And number 7. Now, this would be multiple sectors. It's kind of close, but it's multiple sectors. It's very straightforward. So again, we would be looking for that dump pass. Like, I see a great combo. If number 7 got the ball, think about a simple give and go. Pass to 8. Number 7 takes off. We play the ball back over. Boom, boom. Really simple play. So we've already addressed for each pass how many sectors would be advancing. Now my question to you, are there any other passes not highlighted in this chart which are safe to make? I'll give you about 20 seconds to think about it. Okay. So for me, I only see one other pass, and this would be to our number 8. Okay, that would be an inside midfielder. Now, really depending on the location of our inside midfielder, this could be an angled pass where they could turn, or it could be a kind of a long pass where a dump play would need to be played. I think more than likely their back is going to be facing the goal, so they would probably be looking to dump to 4, which could then switch fields if they want to. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at another example of combos. And again, this is out of the U.S.-Guatemala game. Look what you see. Again, they are playing a 4-3-3. I see a center back with the ball. Angled pass. Able to receive and move the ball forward. So, in this circumstance, we have that side back who is now pushed up like a wing mid. We have a side striker checking back into space. Look how our 3 center mids, both inside midfielders and our center mid, are checking into space. So look at how many options are being provided to our center back. All right, let's see how this plays out. Angled pass. Dump pass, because it went multiple sectors. Angled pass. Now, in this circumstance, that pass went by multiple sectors, but what this side back had chalk on their feet. So they were angled where when they received the ball, they could see, did they have pressure? Could they turn? That is kind of a unique situation because since they're on the sideline, they don't have to worry about what's behind their back. Now, as you can see right here, Luna is probably going to be checking to the ball. Checking to the ball. Switch fields. Dump pass. Now let's bring that back just real quick. Look at this shape. Look how spread out they are. Look how many numbers they have in the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's another one over here. This is a strong attack. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it's a really strong attack. And it leads to a U.S. goal. So, let's take a look at another position. And this is possibly one of our most important positions, and that is our number 4. Right here. Okay, so how many options does our center midfielder have to play the ball? Now, they have highlighted 4 options. The 3, the 10, the 11, the 9. That is our side back. That is our inside midfielder who made a diagonal run out. Our side striker, our wing striker who is cut into the middle. Or our center striker, which is our target player up top. Now, we're going to go on to the second question. For each pass, how many sectors would they be advancing? For me, I see one angled pass. That would be to our number 3. They're going to be staying in the same sector. For number 10, 11, and 9, these are going to be passing multiple sectors. So you're going to be looking for dump passes. So for example, if our number 9 received the ball, it could play back to our number 8, who could play it out to our number 7. Are there any other passes not highlighted in this chart that could be made? I'll give you about 30 seconds on this one. Well, let's go ahead and look at them. So we already addressed 4. Well, really you could have an angled pass back to your 5 or 6, which are your 2 center backs. You could make an angled pass forward to your other side back. You could hit number 8 with an angled pass and they could dump back. Same thing for your 7. You could also play the ball back to your 1. So really, number 4 is one of the only positions where you have to have vision because you can play anyone on the field. And you're going to be kind of our linchpin of being able to keep the ball from one side and moving it over. Because a lot of times when you have the ball on one side of the field, you have a lot of defensive pressure. So if you're able to take the ball into switch fields, it opens the game up. Let's take another look at combo play. Angled pass. Angled pass. Dump the ball. Angled pass. Dump the ball. Playing the way you face. Play the way you face. Angled pass. And that was a beautiful, beautiful build-up. Okay? So if... Oh, it's still going. Dump the ball back. Dump the ball back. So that was a pretty good possession. Okay, so we are going to move on to a couple more combo options. Now, one of the issues that we had last year was our movement off the soccer ball. A lot of times our movement was in one direction, and it was always forward. We get the ball and everyone starts running forward. That should not be an option. We have to have a lot more. The idea is that we should be moving to find alleys to receive the soccer ball. So, for example, like when our number 2 has the ball, we should be finding ways to make runs into open paths where they can pass you the soccer ball. So it is making runs into open space is what you should be doing. Okay, so let's take a look right here. All right, so we have our side striker. The ball is being played into our side striker. They look for a simple wall pass with their 9. Goes back to them, and then a lot of times when the ball is being played on one side of the field, the defense is looking over here, and they turn their back, and number 11 sneaks in, gets the cross, and boom. Unfortunately, last year, a lot of times it was when we had the ball in the middle, let's just kick it forward, let's run, and just see what happens. And a lot of times that results in the keeper getting the ball, a goal kick, or a turnover. Sometimes it worked in our favor, but it wasn't a high enough success rate. So, again, here's a situation in which our side striker makes a run into open space. The ball is played from our side defender into our target player. Since it went up multiple sectors, it's a dump pass to our side striker who's made a run into support. And then what that is done is number 11 has, our other side striker, has made a run behind their guy and cut. There's a little path through, and now they're gone. Okay. So again, intentional movement off the ball. And we're going to be working on a lot of these patterns. But again, all movement is not in the direction of the goal, but into open space. Let's take a look at another example. So I'm going to pause it right here, and let's just highlight the positions so that you can see where possibly you would be on the field. So I have our goalie right here, our 2 center backs right here. You can see our triangle, which is our center midfielder, and then our 2 inside midfielders. Our 2 side backs have pushed up into the middle. We have our side striker here and here, and then our number 9 is here. We are very spread out. We are very spread out, and we have a good center mid right there to keep possession of the soccer ball. So let's see how things play out in this circumstance. Angled pass. Angled pass. Angled pass, playing the way you face. Now, I'm going to back this up real quick. I'm going to try to, if I can move this. I want you to notice that ever so slightly, this side striker, let me get to my drawing, this side striker and this side back switch places. And that is always an option. That's always an option. And we're going to get into how those players can interchange, and there's a lot of interchanging within this formation, but I don't want us to bite off more than we can chew just to start with. But there's just a little simple interchange, right? There's the interchange. Side pass, or angled pass, angled pass, angled pass. Uh-oh, turnover. Almost a goal, but not one. Okay, let's get another angle from this. And we're going to pause it, and we're going to see where the positions are at. So it's covering up just a little bit. So I've got a center back here. I think I have another center back somewhere over here. I've got a side back and side back. I have my center midfielder here. I have my two inside midfielders. And then I have my three strikers up here, with this being our number 9. Yep, that's our other center back right there. So look how spread out we are. There's space, so we're going to come up and attack. Angled pass. Angled pass. Notice the runs off the soccer ball. Little switch right there. Angled pass. Angled pass. They're switching from left to right, right to left, moving the ball around. Angled pass. Looking what the defense gives them. Angled pass. Moving the ball back and forth, back and forth. It's just not there. And as you can tell, these players are constantly trying to move into an open position. So like right here, when the ball is there, all of these guys are just trying to find an opportunity to move into an open space. That's all they're doing. They're just trying to find a path. They're not running towards the goal. They're just trying to find an open spot so that whoever has the ball has plenty of options. It's just those little 2-3 yard runs. And sometimes that direct ball opens up. So, as we've talked a little bit about it, is player interchange positions to full defenders and create space. And that's something we've talked a little bit about. So in this circumstance, our number 7, which is our side striker, cuts in, and our inside midfielder makes a run out. Over here, our side striker tucks in, and our side defender makes a long run. This run right here creates a space for number 7 to get open. So players interchange position to full defenders and create space. And then, as you can tell, you overload parts of the field for positive numbers. So in this circumstance right here, we have several players near the soccer ball, so that when number 2 has the ball, they have plenty of options to pass and keep possession of the soccer ball. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about our defensive approach. So if we defend in our flat back 4 with 3 in the middle and 3 up top, it's not a strong defense. And if we're this spread out, we're going to get picked apart, especially by really good teams. So how do we go from this shape into something that's a good shape to defend in? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to, when we defend, our 4 back becomes a flat back 4. So here you can see that we are flat in the back, and we're moving like that wall. This right here represents our 3 midfielders. They get flat as well. And then we have our side striker and our center striker here. And then we overload the sides of the ball that the field is on. So as you can see, if the field is turned into thirds, if the ball is here on this third, we have a lot of players on it, and then we have a lot of players in the middle, and we don't have a lot of players in the last third because we're not really worried about the ball coming across. It's not, where the ball is going to go. Most of the time, the ball is going to be played forward. So we want to overload the side that it's on, and we want to create 3 flat walls, okay? And then we will defend the opposite side with that opposite side striker. All right. So here's a video that describes and shows, and it's a drill we'll be doing to work on our defensive shape. So you can see that if the soccer ball was where the yellow target is, we have our flat back 4 wall. We have 3 in the middle flat. We have our 3 pretty tight together. So as you can tell that if the field was cut into thirds, most of our team is in the middle third. If the ball was at their side back, we were going to shift over. We got our flat back 4. We've got our 3 in the middle, and then we have our 3 up top. And again, if the ball was here, we've got our flat back 4. We've got coverage in the box. We have our 3 in the middle. So really we get very flat. We have a flat line of 4 in the back. We have a flat line of 3 in the middle. And we have a flat line of 3 up top. And we will go over a drill just like this, practicing our formation. And it creates really 3 strong walls to keep the ball out of the back of our net. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at goal kick options. Okay. Now, actually, I think as I'm doing this, I'm gonna add this video on at a different time. I'm gonna go a little bit more into our defense as well. I feel like I'm maybe giving you a little bit too much information. So let's just go into a summary right now. So the summary is our structure is 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 forwards. Typically 2 wingers and a central striker. The defensive shape is we have a back 4, provides width and stability with 2 center backs and overlapping fullbacks. Midfielder roles usually have a holding center midfielder and 2 more advanced, which we call our inside midfielders. We have attacking width. Wingers stretch the field, often cutting inside or delivering crosses. So that can come from our side striker or our side backs. It's a pressing system, ideal for high pressing. And we have the athletes to be high pressers. It has balance, offers strong attack and defense. And we will definitely shift into those shapes. Keys for success. Really, we have to have a strong center mid. They're the ones who are going to read the game. They're going to be able to distribute the ball. They are going to be the ones who start our attack. We have to have fullbacks with stamina and speed. Those center or those side backs, you're really playing a wing mid and a wing back. You have to have the conditioning to go back and forth, and you got to have a lot of speed. We need wingers who can create and finish. When we're on the side, we need people who can beat people one-on-one, deliver quality crosses, and score. Because we have to stretch out that field. We need fluid midfield movement. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But those three in the middle, they have to be able to rotate. They've got to play in the middle. So our inside midfielders and our center mid really have to be fluid and checking into space. And then we need to have high pressing and quick transitions. So the formation thrives when the front three press aggressively and the whole team transitions quickly from defense to offense, back and forth, back and forth. So we have to be able to go from defense to offense, offense to defense, and back and forth. So overall, this is an introduction to our 4-3-3. It's a very exciting and dynamic formation, and I'm looking forward to using it this year.